What are you doing here, Miss Erica?
Oh, hello, Naomi.
Hey, enough talking like that, all right?
I don't want people to think I'm freaking related to this broke-ass bitch. Miss Erica, please don't come to my wedding, all right?
Nice to meet you. My name is Erica, and I'm 29 years old. I met my husband, Tai Chi, on an overseas tour, and we got married after a while. It's been about 3 years since we got married, and now that we've settled down, we're starting to want children.
Now that I think about it, it's almost our wedding anniversary, isn't it?
Where are we going this year?
Last year we went to Hokkaido. Why not go somewhere warm this time?
Every year on our wedding anniversary, the two of us go on a trip together. We love traveling, and it's safe to say that we've pretty much covered the entirety of Japan. I'd like to go abroad again very soon. How about Guam?
Guam? Won't we seem a little suspicious?
I don't think so. I think it's about time things have gotten a lot better. I have a secret. My father is the president of a huge conglomerate, and my family is incredibly rich. This particular incident happened about 3 months after we started dating.
What? The Moni Holdings?
That's right. Look, this is a family photo of ours. Dad is proactively showing his face in public for a business strategy involving mainstream and social media. So maybe that's why he's pretty well known across the nation. He sometimes appears on variety TV programs, so people of all ages and genders would know him if you said his name.
You don't look like him, Erica.
No, I'm not. I take after my mother after all. That's why people always think I'm bluffing whenever I talk about Dad.
But maybe we shouldn't tell my own family.
What? Why not?
Mom is really greedy, and if she finds out someone has even a little extra money, she'll come and ask for it right away.
Is she that bad?
Trust me. Just the other day...
Stories and episodes describing just how greedy Mrs. Watanabe could be weren't very pleasant, to say the least.
That's why the very idea of introducing you scares me a little.
Well, we can just make up a lie and get away with it.
What kind of lie?
I guess I could say my family is poor and I started working after graduating high school.
It's true that if we said something like that, Mom probably wouldn't pay you any attention, but is that okay with you?
Yeah, if that settles things nicely.
Thank goodness. But wait a second, I haven't even proposed yet, though.
Tai Chi laughed shyly at that moment. Just as I was thinking that's what's so cute about him, his face clouded over once again.
But...
Is there something else?
My little sister. She's quick to try to get the upper hand. She's got a spiteful tongue, so to speak.
What's wrong with that?
I'm worried she'll believe your lie and say abusive things.
Tai Chi doesn't seem to get along well with his family. It'll be okay. I'm mentally strong, so I won't lose to something measly like that.
Seriously? I thought you might be disappointed.
Come now, you're worrying too much. And in the end, we ended up getting married. We went to Tai Chi's family to greet them and receive their blessing. I tried not to tell them about my background and told them a cover story we decided on beforehand instead.
What's your family like, Miss Erica?
My family is poor, you see, and I've been working since I graduated high school.
Oh, is that so? That must be tough.
Mrs. Watanabe was listening to me with a smile, but as soon as I told her the deceitful truth, she changed her attitude and showed no interest in me at all.
We don't have any money either, so we can't support you even if you ask for help.
What was more, she even put the foot down and refused to support us in the event we came to ask for money.
Well, it's better than being asked for money.
But I didn't think people who would change their attitude so quickly actually existed.
It's scary to think that Naomi could have been here too. I'm scared of my own bloodline.
But you aren't greedy for money at all. That's why I want to marry you.
If I ever start to go crazy like that family of fiends, stop me for the love of God.
Leave it to me. That day, much to our pleasant surprise, Naomi, Tai Chi's younger sister, happened to be out. In the end, she didn't even come to our wedding, and thus I've never met her before. Because of that, and also because Tai Chi was also avoiding them, we voluntarily became estranged from his family. And as for me, my wishes are to go get along with them now that we're family. So, what are we going to do for Oban?
Isn't it okay to just go to your parents' house?
This is normal behavior. While I want to treasure the bond I established with his family once, my husband doesn't seem to want it at all. I kind of want to meet your younger sister soon, though.
Are you insane, honey? She's rude beyond all hope. So even if you do, you'll just feel bad. No, I refuse.
I'd like to meet her and know from my own experience if possible, but I thought that this was going to be impossible for a while. But one day, a golden opportunity befell us.
What? Mom broke her leg? Even if you say that,
What's wrong?
Oh, honey, so actually...
Turns out my mother-in-law had broken her arm and couldn't do housework anymore. She called her daughter too, but she was still worried and asked Tai Chi for help. Shall I go with you?
But even you have work to worry about.
My paid leave days are just about to expire, so it's actually perfect timing. And I've wanted to meet Naomi too.
Well, screw it. I guess we can't help it this time. I'm sorry, Erica. Can I leave this in your hands?
Leave it to me. I'll do the housework perfectly, even if it's at another house.
I don't think it's the right thing to take paid leave to do this, though.
So that's how I had to suddenly head to my in-laws' house.
You're Erica, right?
Nice to meet you. Yes, I'm Erica. And you are?
I'm Naomi, Tai Chi's little sister.
This sort of attitude is indeed harsh for our first time meeting. I think I understand what Tai Chi was talking about. The one who greeted me at the door was a short woman with a spiteful tongue indeed. She was Tai Chi's sister. I'd never had the pleasure of meeting before, Naomi. This is truly the first time we've met.
Mom can't move much at all, so we'll be doing the housewife, okay? But I know this house better, so please follow my instructions, all right?
I understand. Thank you.
Let's start by cleaning the kitchen.
Naomi seemed to be single, but she could do some housework quite well. But I've been married for 3 years and was more efficient. I thought it would be easier if she gave instructions and I was the one who executed her instructions. So I decided to obediently follow her orders.
The knives are to be arranged in order of length, and the garbage bags are on the bottom shelf.
Like this?
That's pretty good. Washing the floor must be done all the way to the corners.
Got it.
There, the filth isn't gone yet. She won't forgive anyone if even a speck of mold remains.
Use this to get rid of the mold.
What? That's amazing.
This is the wisdom of a housewife.
Wow, no, stop talking nonsense.
And so I finished cleaning the house after a few hours of being ordered around by Naomi. It was 6 p.m. and I was thinking about preparing dinner next when Naomi suddenly started to get angry. Next is dinner, I assume. By the way, what does your father like?
Damn you to hell! Why won't you fight back even when I'm making you work so hard?
Excuse me?
Don't you have anything to say back when a younger woman you've never met said horrible things to you?
But it was efficient.
I can't believe you have zero guts. Who would have thought such a woman is my brother's wife?
She looked more frustrated than angry in my eyes. The next task was to comfort her as best as I could. But before I could say anything to her, Tai Chi, who isn't supposed to be there, appeared out of the blue.
Hey, what are you saying to my wife, huh?
Tai Chi?
What are you doing here, honey?
I got worried about you and decided to finish work early.
No, Tai Chi dear, this is...
The hell do you mean no? Zero guts, you say? Erica was helping you out of kindness, but that...
Tai Chi, calm down, if you please, and listen to what she has to say.
No, Erica, you're too soft on her. Let's go home.
Wait, Tai Chi!
Naomi, you should take care of things at home by yourself.
In the end, I ended up being taken home by Tai Chi. Are you really okay with how things turned out?
Naomi is always like that, and I'm sure Mom didn't say any thanks either.
I guess you're right.
There's no need to get along with toxic people like that.
I feel like Naomi is a little different than what you say.
She is the worst of all.
What?
She talks shit about my friends, and the way she treats other girls her age or younger is especially shocking.
Really? Is that right?
It's definitely better not to have anything to do with people like that.
It seemed Tai Chi didn't want to talk about this anymore, or he was quiet after that. Leaving Mrs. Watanabe aside, I feel like I would understand her a lot if I just talked to her. I think it's better for everyone if their families got along. We went back to my parents' house for the Oban holidays. While Tai Chi was helping my mother with something, I decided to talk to my dad about my in-laws and how they were as people.
I see. That mother certainly seems like a bit of a psycho.
I still have yet to understand Naomi. I want to get along with her, though.
I've heard that the problem between mothers and daughters-in-law runs deep, so maybe Taichi is simply wary of that.
But Naomi's instructions were reasonable, and I don't think having a conversation with her is impossible.
That was the first time you met her, right?
Yes. Until then, I was prevented from meeting her because of Tai Chi.
If that's the case, it might be a good idea to take the plunge and have a heart-to-heart talk.
And that's what I thought.
Yeah, why don't you try talking to Naomi for now? If she starts throwing insults and casting aspersions, then you won't need to see her anymore.
Okay, yeah, I'll try that. Thanks, Dad. Much like myself, Dad also values his connections with people. And even though he looks rather simple and ordinary for someone of his status, he has a better sense of how to see people than the average person. Moni Holdings would not have become such a big conglomerate but for his trade of his. Without my mother-in-law hearing what we were saying, I invited Naomi to a nearby cafe. Surprisingly, Naomi readily accepted the invitation.
What do you want with me?
I'd like to talk to you properly at least once, you see.
I don't have anything to talk about.
I do. I wondered why Tai Chi doesn't get along with you.
Already with that?
You and I both know Tai Chi is a kind person, and I think it's strange that he dislikes his relationship with you so much.
Well,
I want to get along with you now that we're family.
Huh?
You see, my family really values bonds and ties, so I can't let go of someone like you so easily, even though I don't know anything. If it's possible, I'll help you get along with Tai Chi again. When I said this, to my surprise, Naomi burst into tears. Did I say something nasty?
Why? Why are you so kind to me?
Am I really?
If someone's so kind to me like this, I have to admit defeat now.
Defeat? Were we competing in some way?
You stole my brother away from us.
What? When I listened to her story in detail, I found out that Naomi really loved Tai Chi.
I really love my brother, ma'am, but I just cannot be honest with him.
Oh, so that's why.
I know it's no good, but every time I see someone who's getting along with him, my head goes wild, my mouth starts talking on its own.
That must be tough.
The first day I met you, ma'am, I really wanted to get along with you, but I just kept saying mean things to you.
Well, let's admit it was not the kind of thing you say to someone you just met for the first time.
But you listened to what I said without a word of complaint and did everything perfectly. I thought of myself as a miserable person.
So that's what was going on.
I'm sorry. I said terrible things to you.
It's okay, dear. I don't mind it.
Really?
Trust me, I'm glad you were someone I could talk to properly. Because of this little occurrence, I offered to help Naomi and Tai Chi repair their relationship. Using the duty to take care of my mother-in-law as an excuse, I would take Tai Chi to his parents' house every week, but...
Hey, honey, you've been so keen on going to my parents' house.
Yeah.
But are you being threatened?
Again, this was normal behavior. Even though they're his family, he simply couldn't shake off the veil of doubt and distrust. Of course not. This is serious. And as for dear Naomi...
So you've come to be used as a slave again.
Naomi, that language.
Yes, well...
Ha, you can't even say thank you, can you?
That's none of your business, Tai Chi.
Erica is my wife. It is my business through and through.
Come on now. Tai Chi, you can relax in the living room.
What should I do?
Old habits die hard, so they say, dear.
It just looks like I'm bullying you, Miss Erica.
I'm all right, dear. I understand the situation, and I don't mind at all.
Ugh, why did it end up like this?
It's all the things that have happened up until now, I suppose. And over here as well, there was a mountain of problems. It's fine when we're just talking, the two of us. But when Tai Chi joins in, she gets carried away and all sorts of things just come out of her mouth. I thought this would take a huge amount of time, but it seems God just couldn't wait for us. What marriage?
Yes, an arranged marriage.
An arranged marriage? Did you really want to get married that badly?
No, but Mom said she wanted me to settle down because I was getting to the appropriate age.
So, it was decided that Naomi was going to marry a young hope from a major conglomerate. In other words, she was marrying into wealth and luxury.
She's a wonderful girl with a good disposition, young man.
Ah, yes.
It's rare to find such a good girl, you see. What do you think? By all means, by all means.
Mom, please. You're strangling the poor gentleman.
What are you on about? My apologies, sir. She tends to think pessimistically.
My mother-in-law seemed to be very keen on the marriage, and both man and woman were overwhelmed by the force of her determination. No one would ever think her arm was still broken with how she fared that evening.
She didn't listen to anything I said and said it was for the sake of the family because he's rich.
So this is just a marriage of convenience.
This is the man whom I'm supposed to marry.
What? The man she was introduced to was someone I knew very well, who worked for my father's company. I remember hearing he was a very avid worker.
But I think it might be a good opportunity.
Huh?
My brother married such a good person too, after all. And maybe in due time, I'll fall in love with him.
Oh, Naomi.
When I get married, I'll be living with his parents over at his place. So unless something really bad happens, I won't be able to see my brother again. So in the end, I wasn't able to get along with Tai Chi.
Naomi was crying as she spoke, and I couldn't say anything back to her. I felt like if it ended like this, everyone would regret it. I decided to contact Dad because I could not let this go.
So, Futa, my right-hand underdog, is getting married.
So, you know him after all?
Of course, he's one of our promising young people indeed.
I thought so. I just knew I'd seen him a few times before.
But he said he wasn't planning on getting married for a while.
Is that true?
Yeah, I'll talk to him about it.
And with Dad's help, I was able to talk to Naomi's fiancé, Futa. What? You're not keen on it at all?
I didn't even want to go on an arranged date in the first place. But my parents, they said it's about time I settled down, and then before I knew it...
So that's how it is. It seemed Futa wasn't very keen either. If Naomi agreed to this, that's why I decided to become a little nosy.
You called me miss?
Naomi, dear, do you truly want to get married?
That's not something I can change to suit my own convenience.
I want to hear what you have to say.
I don't really want to get married, but Mom's just... And what about causing trouble for him?
I could do something about it.
What?
If it were up to me, this marriage shall never happen. Dear Naomi, what do you want to do?
Well,
I can't believe Naomi is getting married.
Indeed, indeed. And she's marrying a rich man, so I can finally relax.
I never thought such a day would come.
I agree, truly.
oh, and what are you doing here, Miss Erica?
Oh, hello, Naomi.
Hey, enough talking like that, all right?
I don't want people to think I'm freaking related to this broke-ass bitch. Miss Erica, please don't come to my wedding, all right?
Hey now, there are good things to say and things you never...
It's fine, Taichi.
Erica?
I agree. It might make things look a little inferior. Can I ask you to watch the house?
Yes, of course.
You two? How dare you? If that's the case, I won't go either.
Not like I asked you to come.
Ha! Nothing can be done. Let's just go. What the hell are those fricking banshees? I never want to see their faces again.
Taichi was really angry at the way they treated me, but this is all part of the plan. If he heard that conversation, Taichi would definitely be furious and not attend the wedding ceremony at all. We desperately had to miss the wedding ceremony without my mother-in-law finding out. Sorry to interrupt you, honey, but can you head to the venue right now?
What? Why?
We're going to ruin this wedding.
Now I'll have peace of mind in my old age.
Mom, you really only think about money, do you?
Isn't that obvious? It's only natural that money solves everything. It made me question Tai Chi's sanity when he went and frickin' married a wife that's from a broken home. I'm glad you're a godsend.
Oh, I see. Let me arrange the flowers.
There's no need to apologize for anything. Go ahead.
And now, everyone, a big round of applause for the bride and groom.
No! Naomi! Naomi's gone?
Oh dear, is that really true?
Miss Hostess! Yes, she's nowhere to be found.
You're probably wondering why I'm there, actually hosting the event. Don't worry, you'll find out why very soon. Well then, instead of that, I have got a video letter from the bride and groom.
A video letter?
I operated the remote control, and Naomi and Futa appeared on the large monitor. Both were in a wedding dress and a tuxedo. Indeed, this is not a video letter, but a live broadcast.
I'm sorry, Mom. I honestly didn't want to get married.
No way!
I'm sorry, but I think the same. I thought it was too early to get married, but my parents were so persistent, and I reluctantly agreed to it. But I still think this kind of thing is not a good idea.
So after talking it through, we decided not to get married after all.
That's right. So for a while, we'll hide away where no one shall find us.
Please don't look for us. Taichi, send me away.
Hey, there was no need to ask me for anything. We're terribly sorry to those who came to celebrate this momentous occasion with us. All the congratulatory gifts are at the entrance of the venue for you to bring home.
And in return, please feel free to indulge in food and drink in the meantime. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Well then, until we meet again.
Well then, until we meet again.
What is this all about? What is this all about?
Please, calm down, ma'am.
There's no way I can do that. It was a good opportunity to marry into wealth.
It looked like she was going to have a hysterical reaction to what happened.
I see, so that's what it was all about.
Who are you? Wait, the president of Moni Holdings.
Thank you for always taking care of my daughter.
At the wedding venue, my father, who is Futa's employer, was also present. Actually, though, it wasn't Futa who invited him. It was me. However, my father understood the situation instantly and went on to console Mrs. Watanabe.
It seems that you underestimated the feelings of the people involved, ma'am.
But isn't that what marriage is about, sir? It's something you do for the sake of your family.
No, it's a different way of thinking from our era, ma'am.
No. If that's the case...
Unless you change your way of thinking, ma'am, all of your family will leave you.
What on earth did I do?
Everyone, I'm sorry for the trouble my young companions have caused you. As an apology, and I understand it's a bit late, but let's forget about everything and instead have a party to celebrate the two of them starting a new chapter in their lives in a different way.
Perhaps Mrs. Watanabe couldn't believe the reality, for she collapsed to her knees. And Futa's parents couldn't oppose my father's words either. And so the two young people were able to safely obtain their freedom.
God damn, for a moment I wondered what would happen.
Look, I'm sorry, okay? I should have explained it properly.
For real? Well, I guess this kind of experience is something you only have once in your life, and it was actually pretty fun.
A few days later, I was at home and told Taichi the truth about what happened that day. It was a plan that Naomi, Futa, and I had come up with to help them escape. Operation Tie the Knot Getaway, as we called it.
Mom was shocked and ended up bedridden, so to speak, but it was her own fault, I guess.
Maybe the stimulation was a little too overboard.
I hope this calms her the hell down.
That would be great, but it might take another while.
But what is Naomi gonna do after what she did?
Now that I think about it, we're going to hire a housekeeper.
What? So suddenly?
My work has been getting busy and I can't do much housework at all, you see.
I understand that, but
Come on out, dear.
she's already here?
Who better to show up than a freckled girl with long braided hair?
Nice to meet you. My name is Naoko.
Nice to meet you. Well, she seems like a good girl, so I guess it's okay.
Really?
It's surprising how men can't tell when you change your makeup. I'm actually planning to hire Naomi as a housekeeper for our house and repair her relationship with her brother Taichi. I can't wait to see when he notices. Good luck, Naomi, also known as Naoko.